First question, Mark Berman.
Stephen, you said yesterday that you have a million things to do, but you'd find a way to take a moment and kind of take it all in and enjoy it for a second. Did you do that?
I did. Right as the anthem started, I took a moment and just kind of looked around, and it was almost a surreal feeling that I'm the head coach of the Houston Rockets, which is obviously a storied franchise. But for me and my journey, I did take that minute right as the anthem started, and then it was time to get to work.
Jonathan Fagan.
Hey, Coach. You've been talking about this all week, but to see DeMarcus and John moving as they did, playing as they had, is this what you've been seeing? And what did it mean to see it in a game setting?
It meant a lot. It meant a lot. It's step by step with those guys. And we really didn't, as I said a few days ago, we really didn't know what to expect when those guys walked through the door, both of them coming off injuries. And they both played very well tonight. They applied a lot of the concepts that we've been talking about as far as our spacing and moving the basketball. And they both looked really good. They were fun to watch, and hopefully this will be something that we build upon. But like I said, it's a day-by-day thing, so we're going to see how they feel tomorrow and then plan accordingly for the next day.
Kelly Iko.
Hey, Coach, with this being the first game, how would you assess how the ball moved and how the offense looked? Obviously there has been a lot of time from training camp until now, and you said you want to have that December 6th to the 23rd, but how did it look today in the first game?
It looked good. There were times where it's stuck a little bit, and that's natural, especially for some of the combinations of guys that we had on the floor. But you see John had 9 assists in only 18 minutes, which is amazing. And we had 26 assists as a team and didn't really turn it over very much, only 6 times. So the ball movement was good. There's more play calling today than I really wanted. I wanted us to play more like flow and 5-out type stuff. But we found a few combinations that we liked and we wrote them. And that'll be a learning process for me with this group. And then John has a way of kind of pointing things out and seeing things that I allow him to do. And if your point guard can see things and can put guys in the right position, I'm all for it.
Cody Davis.
Hey, Coach. Can you talk about the defensive performance you guys put on tonight, especially for John Wall, given the fact that he's always been one of the better defensive guards in the league?
Yeah, I thought we did well defensively. We've been harping on it a lot. We've been doing a lot of closeouts and a lot of one-on-one, and I think that showed tonight. I think we had good energy on the defensive end. We did make some mistakes that we'll have to clean up, and there's some communication things that we have to attend to. But overall, I thought we did a good job defensively. We held them to 41% shooting, 33 from 3, and our goal was to hold them below 100 points, and we didn't do that. But there was a lot of good things for us to show tomorrow in film, and then we'll make our corrections as well.
Saman Ali.
Hey, Stephen, now that you've seen your team in a game setting, are you confident that James, PJ, and Sterling can kind of come in and fit in with what you have?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be better with those guys. There's no doubt about it. Their talent and what they bring to the team, we'll be better with those guys. So yeah, I mean, we can still play the way that we played tonight with 5-out spacing and pick and rolls and, a little bit more movement that we had tonight. And like I said, I think there were a few times where we got stagnant and we could have moved it a little bit better, but bringing talent only helps, and those guys are talented.
Jonathan Fagan.
With everything that's been swirled around all week and for a little more than a week, the guys have been practicing, have been very enthusiastic, very upbeat about what they're describing. How important has that been for you to get through the circumstances that there's veterans like that who just seem so enthusiastic about just being back, playing again, expressing that as they have been?
That's a great question. We have talked, not quite a bit, but we talked about the adversity that these guys have been through and the ability to fight through, the injuries or whatever. Everybody has their own story, right? And even I do, 20 years as an assistant, and now we're finally here. So really embracing the moment has been something that I've been preaching to the guys, and we've been talking about quite a bit, and they're doing it because, the game has been taken away from DeMarcus and John for quite a while. So they will have that enthusiasm about the game. And I think we play a brand of basketball that you can be enthusiastic about. Although, the defensive part isn't something that you're always going to be enthusiastic about. I might be, but overall, it's a team spirit that we're looking for, and the guys have it right now.
Mark Berman.
Stephen, from what you saw tonight, what are some things that you want to build on or work on and practice tomorrow or film and in game 2 on Sunday?
Yeah, I think our random game has to be a little bit better. Our play calls, we were pretty good. When I drew stuff up after timeouts, we were pretty good. But just coming down the floor, I felt like we got a little bit stagnant. We didn't get into random actions that are harder to guard. So we'll watch that tomorrow and make sure that everybody knows what I want, and so we'll get on the same page as that's concerned. And then the defensive end of the communication part, I think we could have done a much better job communicating. I mean, obviously we're in an empty gym, and they have the piped in music and crowd noise or whatever, but I didn't hear enough on the defensive end from our guys so they can communicate and everybody can be in the right spots and on the same page.
We'll take 2 more. Kelly Eco.
Coach, speaking to, when the ball kind of stuck, do you think part of that is just what they're used to in previous seasons? And is that going to be a process of kind of weaning off of that?
Not really. I mean, the guys that we had out there weren't really part of that so much last year. So maybe a little bit, but I think it's more a product of that we haven't been together for very long. We've only had 4 or 5 practices, and playing in a style that is new, it takes time to adopt that. So I wouldn't say it's a carryover, maybe just a little bit, but it's something that we're just going to have to work on and work to improve.
Last question, Ben DeBose.
Stephen, you have 2 guys with Eric Gordon and Bruno Caboclo, certainly not the injuries of John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, but each coming off fairly injury-plagued seasons a year ago. How did you think those 2 guys looked tonight physically?
They look great. I mean, Eric was awesome in the first half and attacking gaps that were available because we were playing 5 out and we had DeMarcus out there stretching the defense. And then Bruno, I've been, harping on him popping and shooting his 3. That's one of his strengths. And for everybody on the team, it's up to them to play to their strengths. It's up to me to put them in a position for them to play to their strengths, but they have to play to their strengths. And one of Bruno's strengths is shooting the basketball. So I was definitely pleased with both guys, and hopefully it's something to build on with both of them. But coming off, as you said, injury-plagued seasons, it's good to have that first one under your belt and play well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.